Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stonks Maxxing. So this is going to be the, I think, 18th episode. It's a bit late, so probably won't be doing this for too long, but wanted to kind of continue where I left off in the last stream. I think I was talking about the tech industry and was working on a few things on Google Docs. Let me take a look actually. So Drive, tech primers. All right, so we have a list of 100 IT tech companies on the NASDAQ 100. These are companies that are in the information technology industry, and these guys really refer to companies that are kind of diversified across things like cloud computing, semiconductors, and databases, big data. And then you also have the S&P 500 companies. These are pretty big companies, and then Silicon Valley venture-backed. So I think what I wanted to do was kind of understand cloud computing, AI, ML, big data, high performance computing, and software, and some of the big players within each of these spaces. So I think maybe we could start with, I think I was looking into this the other day, cloud computing, right? And learning about how the internet works. Apparently there's fiber optic or copper wires that are dug underneath our ground that provide satellites or internet connection for all computers really nowadays. And so that could be something. There's fiber optic is most internet fiber optic. So only around 40% of US households are wired for fiber optic cable internet. Okay, so I guess this goes into the weeds of how the fiber optic versus cable internet pricing works. I think this is a question I can ask ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, let's take a look. So I'm wondering here, who are the big internet service providers? Yeah. I think from a tech primer perspective, maybe another thing I should think about is internet service providers. And this might fall into the realm of communications, but I think it's just as important when understanding the tech industry when you take a look at these internet service providers. So it seems like internet service providers are the guys that can help you Okay, so include a mix of traditional cable, fiber, and satellite companies, each offering unique plans and services tailored to different needs and preferences. Okay. Guys that allow you to connect to the internet. So the internet really is just wires underneath ground that are connected to other computers. And servers that communicates with each other. Okay, so I think that's kind of like the big idea of the internet. So when people talk about the internet, they usually use bubbles or clouds to represent this kind of abstract, maybe even, I don't know what the word could be here. Almost spiritual, heavenly type association with what the internet is. But in reality, it's a bit more simpler than that, or maybe not simpler, but more practical in the sense that it's just the wires underneath us that connect different computers with each other and help connect different servers with each other. So I think maybe a good question to ask is, how much internet cable is laid out today? What is this? Huh. This is, what's CNET? Point Sky, CNET. I guess it is maybe a publication, a technology publication. Yeah, not entirely sure. Okay. Transatlantic cable called MUTA, funded by Microsoft Meta. Okay, this is actually pretty impressive. All right, so I think I might split this up into two different. Okay, never mind. I'll keep my notes here. I was gonna split it up into two different tabs, but I think from a ease of use perspective, it's not worth it. So let me see. Oh, I am getting a call, so let me stop this for a sec. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
So you're gonna go to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanna give me the key?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna pass by, so can I pick it up from you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Can you come to the back if you can?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I'll be straight at the door.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you then.
Yeah, bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, I gotta drop the keys off real quick. Be back in a sec. back. I'm back. Oh shoot, there's a little... Okay, so let's take a look at where we're at again. Alright, so the internet is just wires under the earth. So there's also a transatlantic cable. Cable connects, I guess you could say servers / computers. I think server is just a really fancy name for computer / servers across the Atlantic Ocean. Alright. So notable ISP companies. So we have AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Spectrum, Comcast, Google Fiber, I didn't realize was also a thing, and then Viasat, Hughes, okay. Is the internet just a bunch of wires? So ChatGPT kind of breaks down the components of the internet. You have important things like physical cables, and then wireless connections, routers and switches, data centers. Protocols. So physical cables, wireless connections. It's kind of a ChatGPT version. Okay, so I'm thinking that the data centers, this is kind of where you have a blend of cloud computing and the internet service providers. Maybe the internet's map of the internet. So these are maybe like cell towers. So who produces cell towers? Maybe these are American Tower. Okay. Yeah, I guess it has been a pretty profitable business, Equinix. So maybe these cell towers are created through real estate investment trust. Seems like. Oops. So $40,000. Interesting. Okay. So we have, let's break down. All right, so components of the internet. If we were to really break this down, so this could have its own category. And then American Tower. So we'll call these cell tower developers. I guess you could say that cell towers are a form of real estate. Oh man, not entirely sure why it does that. It's okay. Crown Castle, that's the other one. Okay, so you have the components of the internet. Cell tower developers are a big one, and I think routers and switches. Right, so there's the idea of data packets. That's how information actually travels from one computer to the other. And it seems like routers and switches are kind of big components of that. What companies have laid the most wire? Okay, wait. Components of the internet, right? Cell towers. So optic cables. Corning Incorporated, Verizon Communications, TT, you know, oh, Lumen Technologies. I wonder so when was the internet first introduced? World Wide Web. Okay, so maybe the history is also a good place to start. So it seems like the internet is a pretty recent development within the past, I guess you could say 50 years, which honestly is a decent amount of time. So history of the internet. Oops. So we say okay. ARPANET. So this is kind of the first operational packet switching network. So I wonder how did ARPANET work? Seems like this is kind of the first wide area packet switch network. Yeah. Between remote computers. Oh, TCP, Transmission Control Program. Okay, maybe software and protocols. Okay. I feel like there's also the idea of a Fourier transform. I don't even see it in here, but I've heard this was pretty important. So Fourier transform. What is a Fourier transform? So I'd assume that this is a pretty important thing. Let's see. Stanford Research, I guess. So these are all connections. I wonder how they connect with each other. So how were computers/nodes connected together in ARPANET? What are these dedicated high-speed lines? Okay, so these are cables, right? These four computers were connected by a cable, coaxial cable. What does broadband mean? Broadband. What does bandwidth mean in data transmission? So bandwidth. The capacity of a communication link to transmit a maximum amounts of data from one point to another computer network. So I think typically measured in bits per second. So represents rates of which data can be transferred through a network connection. Okay, so high bandwidth /broad is good for networks because this allows more data to be transmitted per second. Okay, so I think it's 3 o'clock. Getting kind of tired now. Oh, I just realized that this is... Alright. Yeah, oh well. Could have fixed that another time, but I am getting kind of tired, so I think I'm gonna call this a night. So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.